Hello everybody, this is Dan from Christie's RV. Today we're going to be taking a look at this used 2013 Zinger ZT-310-SB. I'm going to go over some of the stuff you need to know once you purchase this unit. Start off on the front with the propane system. You got two 30-pound propane tanks. In the center you have a crossover regulator. So the system is designed to be used with both bottles on. Whichever one the arm is pointing towards is the one it's going to draw propane from. When that tank's empty, it'll automatically start draining from the other tank. The little sight gauge on the front will change color, inform you that it's empty. Once you notice that, you can flip the handle over and it'll start drawing from the other tank, and then you can have the empty tank filled. Down on the side of the unit, you have your power cord comes out. Just pull it out. Now there's about 20 feet of cord there, and then it does have this little hatch you can open up so the cord can come out, and you can still close the door to make sure nothing goes inside. Above that you have your city water connection, so if you want to hook your hose on, that's where you're going to hook it. Above that you have your outside shower. Next over is the water heater. Open it up, you just align the little tab and open it. This is everything's controlled from inside the unit. The only thing in here you may have to do is remove the drain plug from this bottom corner. Before you do that, you need to open up a set of taps inside and make sure there's no pressure in the system, and then you can safely remove the drain plug. As a side note, your pressure relief valve here, it is common for them to drip slightly, so if you notice it leaking a little bit, it is normal. Underneath the unit you have where your sewer hookups are. You have your gray tank and your black tank. Gray is the shower and sink water, black is the toilet water, and there's a sewer hose in the back bumper. So in the rear corner of the unit you have where your cable or satellite hookup would be. The outside kitchen. Open it up. The fridge in here is a electric only. It works as soon as the unit's plugged in, and you have your controls up here in the corner for temperature setting. The barbecue is stored here. Basically just goes on the mount on the back bumper, and then there's a quick connect hose that connects to the hose fitting, just kind of underneath by the stabilizer jack. So continuing down the side of the unit, you have a set of receptacles here, and this is the back of your fridge. Now the fridge is all controlled from inside. One thing to note is that you can't block airflow in through this vent, so don't lean anything up against it. Below it you have your furnace. Exhaust obviously will be hot when it's running. Up top you have where your fan above the stovetop exits. If you want it to actually exhaust the hot air, you do need to flip these little tabs open so the door can come open, but for travel they need to be closed. So here's where you fill your fresh tank. So you're just going to unscrew the cap and put your hose in. Once it's full, it's going to start draining out underneath. Underneath there's that hose there that has the little black cap on it. That's your drain for your fresh tank. You just got to take that cap off to allow it to drain. Now the awning is controlled from inside. As you come in on your left, you have your awning control, so you're just going to press and hold out. The awning's going to start opening. So one thing to note with these electric awnings is they're not designed to be used in high winds or heavy rain, so I recommend if you have either of those, you should be putting it away. As well as if you're not at your unit, you should leave it rolled up. Now on each arm there's some different push pin holes, so you can adjust the height of the awning from side to side. Now they can be different from side to side, but no more than 3 holes. To roll it back up, we're just going to press and hold the end until it comes all the way in. So beside that, you have your slide out controls. So to run the slide out, all you have to do is press and hold out. One thing with the slide is before you actually put it out, you need to look to each side of the slide out and stuff to make sure that nothing's fallen down while traveling. Anything that gets stuck in there is definitely going to do damage. So once you've checked it, you're just going to press and hold out. The room's going to go out on its own. Another thing to note with the slide outs is that they only seal if they're all the way in or all the way out. So you can't leave them part way, otherwise they could potentially leak. Once they get all the way to the end of the stroke, to make that ratcheting noise, that's how you know you're all the way out. So on the sidewall you have some of your light switches. On top of that you have your monitor panel. On the monitor panel you can turn your water pump on or your water heater, both gas or electric. So if you want electric, it's just turning it on. If you want gas, you turn it on. If for some reason it does not light on gas, the little LED light between the two switches will light up to tell you that it didn't light. Otherwise it should light on its own. Up top you have your different gauges that you can check. So you can press, you can check your battery, your fresh tank, black tank, or gray tank levels, and they all share the same gauge up top. So inside the kitchen, to light the stove top, you're just going to pick whichever burner you want lit, turn it on, just a sparker. Center burner is the high output burner, so it'll boil water much quicker. To light the oven, what you need to do is turn the knob to pilot. Once you get to pilot, you can actually push in on it. Push in on it and hold it. Then you can light the little pilot assembly underneath. Once lit, you need to hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. Once you release, you should be able to, or the flame should stay on, and you're just going to set to the temperature you want it to be at, and it'll light the main burner. Below the oven, you have your propane and CO detector. This is wired to the battery on the front of the trailer. If the battery on the front of the trailer becomes low, it emits a high-pitched squeal to tell you that it's not going to work properly. If the alarm goes off, it tells you if it is propane or carbon monoxide that it's detecting. Beside that, you have your load center. To open it, you just push in the center, it comes open. Then you got all your fuses and breakers. They're all labeled. One thing to note is RV breakers don't have a indicator when they're tripped. You just have to find the appropriate breaker and turn it off and back on to reset it. So then you get your fridge. So on the fridge, you have your selector in the center. So you can choose auto or gas. Gas is propane only. If it does not light, this little orange light's going to start flashing. What auto does is auto uses electricity if it's present. If the electricity isn't there, it'll automatically switch to propane. So if you added on electricity, the power went out, switches to propane until the power is reintroduced, and then it'll switch back to electricity. Then beside that, you just have your temperature settings for both the fridge and freezer. Next up, you have your thermostat. So the thermostat controls both the furnace and the air conditioning. So to turn it on, just turn it on. So you have fan. So you can have just the air conditioning fan run on its own by switching high or low. If you have it set to anything other than auto, it will run that all the time, the fan all the time, with both the air conditioning and the furnace. So the fan will never shut off as long as it's turned on. Then you can just select through your modes. You can go set it air conditioning. You'll set the temperature you want the air conditioning to be at, as well as furnace. You'll set the temperature to what you want it to be at. Now the furnace itself will run 15 to 20 seconds before it lights, and then when it comes to the desired temperature, it will run for 15 to 20 seconds without the flame going as a safety precaution. and then back off. You just go till the screen is blank. To the back room, you have a couple switches. You get your slide out switch for the rear slide and the light switch for inside. Bathroom, you have your GFI reset, as well as there's one in the kitchen. This controls more plugs than just this one, so it can be tripped by the exterior receptacle as well. If the thing is tripped, you're just going to reset from the button right on the receptacle. Now this one has foot flush toilet, flush the toilet. You step on the pedal all the way. To add water to the bowl, you just partially step on it. So I think that's just about all for this unit. I hope you have a great day and enjoy.